Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are here at Porsche Clearwater, and I have that one OG crossover SUV from this iconic German brand that's getting some changes for model year 2024. What is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 Porsche Cayenne. This particular one is the Cayenne S. But before we get into, like I said, this changed up, upgraded, refreshed performance SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Porsche. They've been about performance since day one, and it shows in their results on and off the track, especially at the coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans. No other manufacturer has won Le Mans overall than Porsche. Now, what's fascinating is Porsche has had some ups and downs over the years, believe it or not. I mean, there was talk of eliminating the mighty 911 and replacing it with the 928. They had some rough spots when it came to selling of vehicles, production of vehicles, and back in 2002, this is one of those cars that led them to the success that they currently have. Now, I'll be honest, back in 2002, when I heard that Porsche was coming out with a crossover SUV, I was like, what? A sports car brand coming out with an SUV? But boy, were they really onto something, because it seems everybody and their mother, including Ferrari, now has a performance SUV. For model year 2024 though, like I said, they took that original sauce recipe going back to 2002 and now have made some changes to the whole lineup of the Cayenne for this model year. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for the best new performance, sort of mid-size SUV, is the Cayenne the way to go over the competition, like say a BMW X5, of course an X5 M competition, and an Audi SQ7? Let's go ahead, let's dive into Arctic Gray. I love this color. New color you're seeing all over many different Porsches. Arctic Gray Cayenne S, and find out. Right off the bat, the color. It really fits the body style very, very nicely, especially with the wheel choice. Now, one thing that I really have always loved about Porsches is that if you like checking off the option boxes, they give you an all-you-can-eat buffet when it comes to those option boxes. So at the front, besides the Arctic Gray option, what you're gonna find is that full LED headlight design. Love the way that they have the double stack setup in there. Everything on the interior is blacked out, even the trim around that headlight housing. Working our way down, we see some new changes. So this is all refreshed for 2024. On the Cayenne S, you're getting these ginormous corner air intakes for the heat exchangers that are lurking behind. And Steven's gonna show a little bit of that heat exchanger back there. I love the way they did the LED turn signals. Really, really nice, because your daytime running lamps are up here. These are specifically for the turn signals. And the way that they shaped the bodywork looks sporty and aggressive. And you can definitely tell that there's something new here. A little bit of gloss black on the edge, and it kind of levels off and plateaus off across the top, but everything else that Arctic Gray color. Now, as we come across that unmistakable front end, I think that's one of the things that I could always appreciate about Porsche, is that no matter what model they come out with, when you see the front of the vehicle, you know it's a Porsche. So you'll see the refreshed design. You have these gloss black horizontal slots, some vertical slots, everything gloss black. We got our forward-facing camera, maximum airflow for this Cayenne S, because wait until I show you what is underneath that hood. It's gonna blow your mind. And I'm really digging how they did the lower portion. You can see how we have all of that functional open lower grille, and I like the way that there's a lot of ground clearance between where the earth sits and where the bottom of this Cayenne S begins. I really, really think that that gives it such a unique style. Now, as we rise up, you're gonna get that extended bulge, slight bulge, that goes all the way to the windshield, and then there it is, that Porsche crest. So much history all wrapped up into one badge, that iconic brand from Stuttgart, Germany. Really, really just great to see, like I said, their success, not only continuing with sports cars, but also with these SUVs. Now, as we come around the bend, I like the way that this one is optioned. You're gonna get these gorgeous 21-inch wheels. Love the V-spoke design. You got the Porsche crest. brakes. That's something that Porsche knows all about with those massive Brembo calipers, bright red with the Porsche script on them. Now, here's a little fun fact. When you're looking at Porsches, if you ever see bright red as the caliper color, that automatically tells you that these are steel rotors, which the rotors are nice and large, they're two-piece, nothing wrong with that. If you see yellow calipers, that's gonna be the optional carbon ceramic brake rotors. Here's the kind of gray area. You can now option both with black calipers. So if you see black calipers, you really got to look at the rotor, but if it's bright red, you automatically know steel rotor. Of course, we're going to have that adaptive suspension, all four corners. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this tire? 285 on the width, 45 series sidewall, all-wheel drive, of course. And I love the way everything is painted Arctic gray. Here's a little fun fact, another fun fact. This is actually Steven's favorite color. He's been on the configurator on Porsche's website, looking at 911s, looking at GT4 RSs, and he always goes Arctic gray. Let me know in the comment section how much you like the color, if you like it at all, or if you think Steven is just smoking the dope. Tell me in the comment section. But as we rise back up, I love the way there's no fake vents, just nice, smooth, clean. You're gonna have color matched Arctic gray on your mirror caps, LED turn signals, 360-degree cameras. Now from the side, this is gonna look like a Cayenne has looked for the past few years, and that's not a bad thing. The proportions are really well done. I like the way it's shaped. You know, I brought up BMW. BMW seems to be on this like really weird trip where, and I'm not talking about a vacation, this really weird trip that they're on with their design. It kind of hurts my eyes. Porsche still brings that nice, smooth, elegant, but aggressive style that I think has made them so successful to this day. So from the side, you're gonna get color matched door handles. They went gloss black around the window frames, and I'm okay with that. Gloss black along the roof rails, but everything else you'll see from the side of the vehicle is that beautiful Arctic gray. Now, on the rear, remember, this is a rear-wheel drive setup with the all-wheel drive. So, of course, you have on the rear those same great-looking wheels. We got the Brembo bright red calipers. Remember, that means we have steel rotors. And out back, here's the crazy thing. Out back, 315 on the width. Just to put that in perspective for you, my Shelby GT350R has 315 width tires on the back. This has 315s as well, so you got a couple steamrollers to help give you that crazy launch control and on-throttle acceleration. But let me know how you feel about the wheels. Like I said, there's about freaking 10 different ones you could choose from. Now, as we rise back up, that classic style to the quarter window, and then when we come around the rear, we got some changes. You'll notice on the S, they did a great job with the rear spoiler, extending it out. My big zonk is, why would they leave this ugly thing here? I know a wiper's important, tuck it underneath. Let me just rub my hands and my face all over the back end of this thing because it looks pretty darn good for a performance SUV. You'll notice the clear out optional lens. So normally this is red, it's all cleared out all the way across. You got the Porsche badge in black, and there's the Cayenne S. When we say S, we're talking about more performance. Now, as we drop it like it's hot, look at what we got. Quad tip exhaust, love the finish. I'm hoping we're gonna love the sound. I'm sure we're gonna love the sound. We got to, right? Because they look so darn good and they're functional. They're not fake like some of these other brands. And then I like the way they finished off the lower bumper area with the diffuser stakes in there. It looks pretty cool the way that they did that. But why don't we go ahead? This is a Cayenne S. Let's see what's powering it underneath the hood for 2024. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do, of course, have hood struts. The big change, though, for the Cayenne S is what's underneath the hood. What do we have? Well, first of all, you got a ginormous engine cover. I get it. They want to cover all the inner bits to make it look very high-end. I just wish they would have put some color under here, maybe like an aluminum plate that says V8 and the name Porsche on both sides. But underneath that cover, I promise you will make up for it. You have a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 pumping out 468 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat. quarter mile, 12.7 seconds, top speed right around 170 miles an hour. The vehicle weighs 5,100 pounds, MPGs 16 in the city, 21 on the highway, and you could tow up to 7,700 pounds with your Cayenne. So definitely when they went Cayenne, they opened up the spectrum of potential Porsche buyers and owners. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this thing up and hear what kind of Porsche it sounds like. All right, guys, we are in this Arctic Gray 2024 Porsche Cayenne S. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I like the changes on the exterior. Nothing revolutionary. I definitely like the change underneath the hood. I'm looking forward to see what the changes are in the interior. But how much is this? Well, that's a very good question. And one thing to remember about just Porsche, just all around, is that they don't make a lot of revolutionary changes. They're all about evolution. And you see that in the 911, you've seen it in the Cayman, the Boxster, and you definitely see it in this Cayenne. Now, if you're wondering, well, how much is this? This is where, when we compare it to the competition, we're gonna see what you think based off the price. So MSRP, the way that this one is optioned. Remember, Porsche gives you plenty of things to option. Most Porsche buyers on average spend about $30,000 in options. This one is MSRP'd at $139,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. I love the leather, the stitching, and you'll notice the carbon fiber package. You have some on the door panel, and then there's going to be plenty around the interior. A little bit of gloss black I'm not too fond of, but you do have 3 stages of memory seats, and I just love the clean German style. Everything looks so wonderful. Door pocket is a great size. You'll easily be able to get 2 Chipotle burritos with guac, even though guac costs extra, and a nice large Mountain Dew to wash it down. We have the Bose sound system. And then going from the door panel to the dash, this is where we see changes. Refresh dash. Look at the way they wrap the leather, the carbon fiber. There is a bit of gloss black. Now, the reason why they did that is because there is now an optional 10.9-inch screen for the passenger. This one does not have it. You could pretend it's a screen, but it actually doesn't turn on. So make sure you don't touch it because you're just going to get fingerprints all over it. But you can get a new optional screen there for the passenger. You slide on in, check out the mega size of that infotainment. 12.3-inch updated infotainment system that you've seen on a lot of the new models like the Taycan and the 911 and everything. Of course, you got your navigation, super clear, super intuitive. I like the way when we go into vehicle, how you could change all the different drive modes and everything. We'll get more into that when we go on throttle, but of course we have the sport exhaust system. Let that baby sing when we go on throttle. Look at the way it kind of spins things around Gran Turismo style. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it into reverse. Backup camera, clear resolution. You got your trajectory, and we got our 360. Really, really nice. Easy to use. And then besides this being new, which I'm going to X out of it right now, there we go. Besides the infotainment system, this is all new. This is your shifter for your 8-speed automatic. It is basically the same shifter you find in a new 992, 911, but they placed it up by the navigation. Let me know how you feel about this. The good news is where the shifter's located, it really frees up what I'm about to show you. But let me know if you're okay with this or if you're not okay with it. I'm fine with it. AC vents look good. There's a bit of gloss black. I wish they would have done carbon fiber here, so I'm gonna zonk this portion. This should be carbon fiber, but we open up the door. What do we have in there? Wireless charging, 2 USB-Cs. Closes nicely. Look at the AC controls, and I love the way they have these nice metal toggle switches. Really gives it a nice quality feel. Dual climate control. You got 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, but we're gonna shut off those heated seats. I'll even shut those off before they start making a loud noise. You do have an actual volume knob, which is nice. And then I wish they would have brought the carbon fiber here. This is perfect for 2 Twinkies. You just stand them up when you're getting that need for some of that golden yellow delicious treat. You can have your Twinkies there. You got a 12 volt, 2 cup holders, and then your traditional key fob from Porsche. And you could get this color match. Like, you could have optioned this and got that in Arctic gray, just so you know. It's not soft whatsoever. It's like a rock wrapped in leather, but it looks freaking good. Just not really soft. But you open it up, what do we have in here? You could easily put, I would say, 500 grand. No, not $500,000 in cash. You're gonna need that to pay for this. I'm talking about 500 grand candy bars. Or you can give yourself a payday. No, not with money. You could have 5 paydays in there. Seats, the leather, love the Porsche crest and the headrest. Perforated, beautiful quality and finish. And then of course you got your full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver. That goes without saying. And then we have this ginormous, it's not one touch, which I'm gonna have to zonk that, but you have this ginormous panoramic sunroof with the shade. The one thing I don't like about the shade is you can still see through it. What's the point of a shade if you can still see through it? It's like, what's the point of shoes if they don't protect your feet? Same kind of question. But why don't you get over here? If you have any questions about what's on the business end, I want to show you. Come on over. All right, guys, here we are, business time. You have 3 memory seat settings for the driver. I love the carbon fiber sill. That's an option with the Cayenne S name that lights up LED. Then you have the pedal box. Nice aluminum throttle, brake pedal. It's a large dead pedal. I just wish it had the same aluminum finish as the other 2 pedals. So that's a zonk, but you do have the Porsche floor mats. I'll get this little bug out of here. That's gross. With the embroidery, that's worth an extra 5 horsepower. There's your extra controls. Nice, ooh, look at this. Electric hammy extension. I freaking love that. I'm 6 feet tall and I'm swimming in space in here. It's a really great place to be. This is a great place to lay your hands. Look at the steering wheel. The leather, it's plucked almost like it seems right out of a GT3 Touring 911. You got your drive mode selector switch, the carbon fiber, the thumb controls, and then you have metal paddles to go up and down that 8-speed automatic. It is electric tilting and telescoping. One new thing for 2024 is they now have a start-stop button. Instead of having the twist, where you could do that classic twist like you have a key, you can't do it anymore. It's start-stop. At least it's on the left-hand side. That's a Porsche tradition, but let me know if you rather have the little nub that you twisted. It's a preference thing. And then you have that all-new digital gauge cluster. They're doing it phenomenal. It's over 12 inches in size. And then look at how when you go into the different modes, sport, off-road, because we're in a Cayenne, obviously. And then what's really cool is that you can actually scroll through information in the wheel here, which is really nice. So you can go to vehicle and have that information. But nice to have that, and you have the head-up display. When it comes to digital displays, I really feel like Porsche has it down pat. And the reason why is the way that it's concave, and it's got a shape of that classic Porsche layout design. But let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna have enough room when they gotta puke because you're taking them on the Dragon in this Porsche Cayenne. All right, guys, back seat time. And this is where you're gonna have that classic German style. You do have the cargo nets, not my favorite, so I am gonna zonk it, because if you put a knife or a dagger in here, it's gonna rip off. I mean, I know your kids like to play with sharp objects, they put them in there, it's just gonna rip right through it. You do have a heck of a command center back here. Your AC vents, love the way it's got the same metal toggle switches for the dual climate control back here. The only zonk at this price point is you just have heated seats. I would like to see ventilated seats for $139,000. 12 volt, 2 USB-Cs, and of course you have a king Snickers bar area for when somebody's getting hangry. The room in here is great. I also like the addition of the AC vents on the frame rail as well, but all the touches are the same that the passengers get up front. The seats do recline just a little bit, and like I said, each one of these are movable separate upon itself. Plus you have the Porsche crest. Show them, Steven. Just like up front, you have the Porsche crest. So almost everybody, except for this person in the middle, gets a Porsche crest. Almost forgot. Pull this down. Enough room for the arm, 2 cup holders, and it's soft. let's get into that cargo area because I want to go on throttle in this Cayenne S. All right, guys, time to get into the tail end of the business. Hit that button underneath, nice electric assist. What's great about the Cayenne, no matter if you buy a new one or a previous model year, is that you're gonna get a great amount of space. So with that seat up, you're basically looking at 27 cubic feet of space. Fold the seats down, it then goes up to 54 cubic feet of space. What I like is, of course, they have the Nordschleife German Twinkie holder here for a box of Twinkies. And then underneath the cargo floor, you do have a spare, which is wonderful. Plus a nice nook for a couple more boxes of Twinkies. You'll also see the seats fold down, that 60-40 split. You could fold down just the middle, or you could fold down both sides, whatever way you want to do it. But you know what? It's not about folding when it comes to a Porsche. It deals with on-throttle acceleration. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's fold that pedal and go on throttle in this Cayenne S. All right, guys, we are leaving Porsche Clearwater in this 2024 Porsche Cayenne S. Absolutely love the changes that they made to the interior. They really brought it up to the rest of the Porsche lineup to where you get into a 992, 911, a new 911, you're gonna have the same feel. You get into a Taycan, you're gonna get the same feel, same experience, and I think that was super smart. Getting to the nice large infotainment system is well within reach, and of course, that beautiful digital gauge cluster. I mean, they did such a bang-up job with that. It looks freaking phenomenal. Visibility in this Cayenne is great. The size and the proportions are wonderful, but we got to test out that on-throttle acceleration, especially with all-wheel drive, and especially now with that twin-turbo V8. I have it in sport mode, and if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nice. Love the fast shifts, the way the sound, and I think that's another thing that Porsche does very well, is that whole experience in what they're providing. Not only are they providing a vehicle that obviously performs at a high level, but it's giving all your senses the right experience. Your touch, your smell, your hearing, like all of the senses are being peaked perfectly with the way that Porsche brings the driving experience. Seats are comfortable, supportive. They could use a little bit more bolstering. I feel like a little bit more bolstering would be nice, and I'm sure that on that all-you-can-eat buffet option list, you could probably get some sportier seats, guaranteed. But really, from a comfort standpoint, they're fantastic, especially the fact that they're heated and ventilated. I love the metal paddles, and I like the position of them. They're very easy to get to. But the way that they freed up the room here on the center console with the movement of the shifter and where they placed it is really, really nice. And getting all the information you need at a quick glance is so easy, so very easy. But let's get out on the highway. We do have 21-inch wheels, of course, with 21-inch tires, and we gotta see how it rides. Very smooth, very little wind noise, and not a lot of road noise, which is great. But having the awesome visibility allows you to navigate very easily. If this is your first time being in a Cayenne, I think you're gonna like the way you can tell where each part of the vehicle is at any given moment. But going down the road, the adaptive suspension does such a great job of giving you, obviously, that important feel, but not making it too harsh on your organs. And remember, I'm in sport mode, so that's another thing to think about. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the shifter, you actually pull it down once, and that's gonna put us into manual shift mode, and that's gonna allow us to be able to shift with the paddles in this transmission. So in manual shift mode, it actually tells you it's enabled. You have a small gear indicator, and we're gonna do some on throttle. But let's get it into this corner first, see how she handles. Brakes, no matter if you go steel rotor or carbon ceramic, they really shed speed nicely. But if you're ready, on throttle, here we go. Nice quick shifts from the 8-speed automatic. And of course the sound. I mean, that's worth the price of admission. With that sport exhaust, it is stupendous. Love the way this thing sounds. And of course, I know a lot of Porsches are known for flat engines, flat sixes and whatnot, but they've done work with V8s as well, and they've raced V8s as well. Remember, going back to the Porsche 928, that was a front engine V8 performance car from Porsche. But let's see how she handles again. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes, those massive calipers, look at this. Really, really makes light work of handling. So much fun, and that's what the whole experience is about. And that's something that I learned, is that even though I've always known Porsche to be a brand about sports cars, they take that same magic and they bring it into their SUVs as well. But I'm really liking the evolution of this Cayenne. It's crazy to think that we're now talking about 21 years ago the Cayenne came out. Isn't that nuts? 21 years. Nice downshifts with the paddles. You get some burble, some pop, nothing too obnoxious. And like I said, having the head-up display, having the visibility, it really makes easy work of driving this Cayenne. You ready to go on throttle? On throttle, here we go. Nice. I mean, you're gonna not have any issues merging, I promise you. And I applaud Porsche for putting the twin turbo V8 in this Cayenne S. But you know, you hit that down on the shifter, it puts us right back into drive. And here we are, driving smooth, and the 8-speed automatic is doing its thing. Very, very easily. But I hope that this has been a good overall review of this Cayenne S. Let me know in the comment section how you're liking the on-throttle experience. I know definitely it feels really, really good behind the wheel. Especially this steering wheel is damn sexy and has all the functions you can need or want and nothing else. But let me know how you feel about it. We're gonna get back to Porsche Clearwater and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one of those great kinds of days here at Porsche Clearwater. Definitely want to thank Larry, Mike, Mo, and the rest of the crew for getting us access to this 2024 refresh Porsche Cayenne S. Let me know what you think. Has Porsche done the right changes, both exterior, under the hood, and inside, to make this the best new performance luxury SUV you should be buying over the competition? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rotors Rise family. Of course, we need to give it up. Stephen Flood Photography, working that camera no matter what kind of weights are on his shoulders. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.